Hey everyone, welcome to today's Program Yourself 10 podcast. Today we're talking about dialing down your calories, and the concept of dialing down the calories stands in stark contrast to drastically cutting them. And I think that's what most diets are going to have you do. Why? Because you're impatient. You want to lose weight as quick as possible. And the fastest way to do that is to drastically cut the calories. And that usually includes completely and totally giving up your favorite foods, giving up high calorie, pleasurable foods, just completely chopping them out. And I think this is probably most extreme with a keto plan, and or intermittent fasting, where we're making this giant 16-hour window. So diets typically are going to have you do this drastic action where you reduce the calories instantly in one day. You're going to go from Sunday to Monday, and you're going to cut 40 to 60% of your calories out, gone. And this is probably how you subconsciously think about weight loss now and how you're going to achieve it. That you have to do this drastic thing calorie wise to lose weight. And yes, granted, if you cut a bunch of calories out, you will lose weight quickly. I don't argue with that. What I'm saying though is that every time you do it that way, you freak yourself out and you feel deprived and stressed and tense and angry, and it's not going to last long. So while yes, as long as you could cut 60, 70% of your calories out, you will lose weight. The big question becomes, how long will you be able to do that? Because the more intense, the more miserable it makes you, the less amount of time you're going to continue doing that with. So the alternative is dialing down your calories. And I will address the core issue I know you probably think when I say this is that, well, I'm not going to lose weight quick enough. But what's fast and slow weight loss? If you cut all the calories out of your diet, 70% of them out, that sounds like fast weight loss, but is it? Because if you zoom out and realize that you can only do that for a week or two, is it fast weight loss? I mean, if you lost 8 pounds a week, if you only do it for 2 weeks, then put the weight back on, that's not fast weight loss. That's no weight loss. So the dialing down concept is about, yeah, maybe you lose a little bit of weight slower the first couple of weeks, but you keep losing weight. And not only that, then you're way more set up to actually be able to stay there. So the concept of dialing down the calories implies that you're going to do it comfortably. What does that mean? Well, I don't know. It's different for each person. But once you start to become aware of what your typical calorie consumption patterns are, we bring this dialing down concept in, and you might dial it down 5%, 10%, 15%, maybe 20%. But I wouldn't go much higher than that. Now, it also depends on what you're talking about, right? It might be easier if you usually have 3 glasses of wine, having 2 glasses of wine. That's a 30% reduction. That might be okay, right? You might put, 2 spoonfuls of sugar in your coffee in the morning. You might cut that down to 1. That's a 50% reduction. So again, there are different situations, but in general, let's just say dinner, dialing that down 15, 20% tends to stay under the radar a bit, meaning it's not going to freak you out. You're not going to go into panic deprivation mode, because as soon as you go into panic deprivation mode, your time is numbered. Your days are numbered. It's only a matter of time until you quit because you feel like shit. It doesn't feel good. You do not do things that don't feel good for very long, in case you didn't know that. So the idea of dialing it down is to gradually dial down the eating in a way that is comfortable for you. And that is, I think, the missing piece of almost everyone's weight loss plan, is that there is no sense of what you're doing in terms of how it makes you feel. And as a matter of fact, you're running 100 miles an hour at trying to make yourself as uncomfortable as possible because you're so obsessed with fast results. But it is this obsession with fast results and this obsession with doing things quickly and drastically that is literally causing you to quit. So if we could stop the quitting, you're going to find that it gets a lot easier to get the results you're looking for. So I hope this helps you out. If you want some support with this approach, please click the link in my bio. Go get the free hypnosis session, watch the training and video I made for you, and I will help you out. It's all free stuff, and it will dramatically help you. Okay, so go check that out. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. But yeah, here we are. Was it Tuesday? Oh my goodness. Feels like the end of the week already. So yes. Let's see. I see Maria. How you doing, Maria? Maria says, is a club sandwich okay for lunch? It has veggies and chicken. I feel like I shouldn't even be overweight by how I eat. That's funny you say that, Maria, in the sense that I hear that so much. And I think what I remind myself of is that humans are really built to be on autopilot. So a lot of times we're not aware of what we're doing. And this is especially true with food. It is so easy to consume a lot more calories than you think you're consuming. So is it okay to eat a club sandwich? There's really no okay or not okay. I mean, I couldn't just blanketly say good or bad. I mean, that's not true. I can, but I mean, there's always kind of place for something. But the idea that, a club sandwich, if I was overweight and I ate club sandwiches every day for lunch, I would probably work to optimize my club sandwich, lighten the mayo, lighten the bacon, lighten the calories in it, lighten the chips if you eat chips with it, whatever. But I feel like I shouldn't even be overweight by how I eat is I think one of the worst thoughts you can have. You weigh exactly what you should weigh based on how you eat. So I think it's important to internalize that, because once you start down the path of, I don't even know, I'll do everything right and I'm not losing weight. As soon as you start believing that, you separate from reality. And this shows up with people in terms of no matter what I do, I can't lose weight. That's the end point of that thought pattern. No matter what I do, I can't lose weight. I've never seen that to be true. If you reduce your calories over time, your weight will go down. So I know you feel like I shouldn't even be overweight by how you eat, but great. The way you feel really has very little to do with this. I just say this to you because I know a lot of people think they have a good sense of what they're consuming and eating, and they don't. And I know this because I've been doing this professionally for 20 years, and people consistently are way off base with what they're eating. And so the fastest way to cure that is to realize what you're currently eating, and that's the exact reason why you weigh what you weigh. Anyways, what's up, Jody? Jody says, beautiful, beautiful day for a walk. I time it around your live today. Perfect. Yeah. Maria says, I used to eat a chocolate bar with a sandwich, but now it's just that. Yeah, I get that. And again, that's part of what happens to our brain is we make an improvement on something. I used to eat a chocolate bar and now I stopped the chocolate bar and I haven't lost weight. I don't understand, but you may have picked up the calories somewhere else. It may not have been enough time. I feel like that's not a lot at all for a full meal, even if it has some bacon and mayo. Yeah, but Maria, I already know, like, again, people do this all the time, where it's like they'll pinpoint one meal and they'll say, well, this chicken club I ate for lunch. I don't understand. Yeah, but there's all other eating going on. So yeah, that chicken club is just a small percentage of what's controlling your weight. And this is I literally just got off a call where we were talking about this. And they're like, well, maybe it's the peanut butter on my apples. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe it's the dinners that we haven't talked about yet. It's probably the dinners. And you say, what about the dinners? Well, the dinners, they're all over the place and they're hard to get a handle. Well, that's a red flag. And so, yeah, I wouldn't disagree that the club sandwich isn't a big deal. And it's probably the least of your challenges, most likely. But I'm just telling you, just as a general rule, humans are very unaware of what they're eating. And we do all these weird psychological gymnastics to trick ourselves. The licensing effect is what this would be called, where you look at the sandwich and you say, this is relatively healthy. And I used to eat a chocolate bar and I stopped that. So how come I'm not losing weight? Meanwhile, I don't know what the rest of your eating looks like. Maybe you're eating more at dinner now because you're like, oh man, I cut the chocolate bar out now so I can have that little extra for dinner. I can have that little extra thing there. I do whatever. And so a lot of times, this is a factor. So I get, Maria, that you feel that way, but again, so much of programming yourself then is recognizing the bullshit that we say to ourselves that tricks us and getting more accurate. So anyways, hope that helps. Just going to read something real quick. But if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them. So Betty? Betty says, you're fantastic. You've made such a difference in my life. Actually, such a difference in my mind. Very good. That's what I'm here for. That's what I do. Help people make big changes in their life. And as I said, some big changes on the horizon, going to help even more people make big changes. Can't wait. Can't wait. Angela says, do you think inflammation plays a big part in body shape? No, I don't think inflammation plays a big part in body shape. I think inflammation probably plays a big part in weight. I think it contributes quite a bit, but I don't think in the body shape. I don't know, but that it could. I'm not an expert in that, but I don't see anything I do know. I don't see how inflammation would change your body shape. You know. Maria says, my dinner is a bigger meal, but it's always healthy. And for breakfast, I only drink coffee. Your lives are very interesting. Should I skip lunch too? I have tried that, but I get hungry. No, I wouldn't skip lunch too. I would, again, I mean, Maria, you could feel free to share it here because I'm happy to help you out. But I need more detail. So if you want to get into it, I'm happy to do that. But let me know, what's your weight loss goal, right? Like how much weight would you like to lose? So you're telling me you only drink coffee. Is it a black coffee? You only drink coffee at breakfast. You wait till lunch to eat a club sandwich. And then you eat dinner, which is always healthy. I don't know what always healthy means because healthy food can have lots of calories in it. So healthy food doesn't necessarily mean you're going to lose weight. You know, I wouldn't skip lunch because when I get too hungry, it just sets you up for failure. So no, I wouldn't skip lunch. If let's just say your eating's really well, I mean, you're already got rid of the chocolate bar, great job. I would probably dial down the calories of the lunch a little bit by lightening the mayo, lightening the bacon, lightening the chicken, lightening the calorie dense foods in that. So if it was a chicken sandwich, I'd cut the chicken down by 20%. If there was bacon in it, I'd cut the bacon down by 30%. If there's mayonnaise on it, I'd cut the mayonnaise down a little bit. You know, I wouldn't get rid of it all completely. Not at all. So that'd be my suggestion. Just Jade, what's up? Says what helped me was tracking calories for a couple of weeks. It's really hard to have any idea where you need to go and you don't know where you are, but I know you don't like tracking calories, Jim. Oh, no. I don't like tracking calories long term. I absolutely love tracking calories for a couple of weeks. So yeah, I'm right on board with you. I think tracking calories as a calibration tool, as an awareness exercise, because most humans have very limited sense of their calorie consumption. And part of that is just instinctual the way we're born. You know, calories don't mean anything, folks. Calories were just a concept created 50 years ago. No one ever thought about calories before that, you know? So it's not this intrinsic concept that means something to us. But anyways, so it's important that I think in this age of highly palatable, hyper addictive, high calorie dense foods, I think it's really important that you spend some time getting a sense of where your calories are coming from because you probably have not a good idea. And I think tracking calories for a week or two to get a sense of what, you know, relatively where the most calories are coming at, the most calorie dense foods you eat, I think is crucial because that sets you up literally and program yourself. Then the first step of the eating, getting your eating under control is awareness. So you have to have a sense of where the calories are coming into your body at the highest level. And most people have no idea of that. And so, yeah, you're right. You, like you said, you know, if you don't know where you want to go, any place will take you there. You know, or if you don't know where you are, then how are you going to decide where to go? Again, you need a reference point. And so, yeah, I'm right there with you, just Jade. What's up, Sherry? How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. I am having a great day, actually. Maria says it's a vanilla latte, and for dinner, usually veggies with some kind of meat. I'm hoping to lose 30 pounds. Okay. So again, Maria, I think I'm just assuming this. Don't take this personally if it's not true. Okay. I'm just giving you what I see most of the time in this situation. That when someone wants to lose weight, they start to zero in and focus in, ironically, on like their healthiest stuff they do. So it's like you got rid of the chocolate bar and you got your sandwich and you're looking at that and you're like, I don't understand. Everything else is healthy. I don't drink no calories here. So I don't understand. Well, first of all, there are calories in a latte, a vanilla latte. And I don't know how many. I don't know what kind of vanilla latte you're making. If you're getting like a venti Starbucks vanilla latte, oh, shit, how much would that be? And I'm sure it's probably not, but let's see. So if you're getting a Starbucks one, that could be 200 to 300 calories, which isn't a lot of calories. For breakfast. But what's happening is you're not getting a lot of satiety with that drink. Satiety meaning satisfaction, right? Your body doesn't get a lot of satisfaction from liquid calories. So yeah, again, what I'm saying to you, Maria, is I want to be more strategic. Um, and you're zeroing in on the sandwich and that dinner that you eat that's healthy. But I'm gonna guess that you don't eat that veggie with meat dinner every night of the week. I'm gonna guess. And I don't know if you eat that club sandwich every day of the week. This is a classic dieter move where we get fixated on one little band of our eating and we miss the big outlier stuff. So if you were eating a chocolate bar after that sandwich, that implies to me, I'm having a hard time to believe that you don't eat dessert after dinner if you eat a chocolate bar after lunch. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. I don't know, Maria. Again, this is the challenge of this format, that I'm assuming a whole lot of stuff, but I am assuming it based off. I've done 6,000 private weight loss sessions. I've been doing this for a long time, so I a lot of times can pick up on subtle patterns that show up. I'm not saying that's the case with you, but what I will say, Maria, is that I think you're missing a lot of the calories, because I think you're you're not looking at your eating in a accurate enough way. I think you're highlighting the sandwich, your latte, and a healthy dinner with vegetables and meat. And I think you're missing little outlier snacky things, little desserts, little sugars, little calories that are sneaking in. I would bet. That's what I think. Because that's what I see constantly. That's what I do. We all do it. Um, what's up, John? John says a 2-week vacation proved too long to resist eating, drinking more. Sadly, I gained 8 pounds. I don't think it's sad, John. I mean, I sit in front of you all here, 10 pounds. I'm not now, I'm already down a little bit, but I hit a high point of putting 10 pounds on. And it happened. It can happen to any of us in vacation mode. Like, to me, that's not a sad thing, John. As long as you're back on track relatively right now, it's a happy thing. You went on vacation, enjoyed the hell out of yourself. Now you're back to reality and the weight will come off, and there you go. I don't think we want to I don't know. Like, I don't live in a world where I want to stay the exact same weight all the time. I mean, I would love to if I could just set it that way. Yeah, sure. But I live in a real world where my weight fluctuates and goes up and down based on factors. And holiday vacation mode is one of the highest of those factors. When I go on holiday vacation mode, yeah, my weight's going to go up a bit. 8 pounds. I don't know. I put 7, 8 pounds on over the holidays and vacation. I don't give a shit. I enjoyed every one of those pounds. And then usually I dial it back a little quicker, but last 3, 4 months, life catch up with any of us, caught up with me. And so, I weigh up to 10 pounds. It's like, oh, it's okay. I'm dial it back down and I'll be right back down to where I want to be, but great job. I mean, you're still engaged. You're still part of, doing what you're doing. And those fluctuations are completely normal. Valerie says, maintaining is a continuous struggle for me, even though I'm only 22 and a half BMI. Yeah, I mean, struggling is hard. Maintaining is hard for everyone because you don't really have a plan to maintain. Do you know what I mean? Like, most people have a strategy to lose weight. And then when it comes to the maintenance, you're just winging it. Most people are just winging the whole thing anyways. But in Program Yourself Thin, we're looking to install a mindset, lifestyle, and eating pattern that keeps you at your goal weight on near autopilot, because we want the things that keep us at our goal weight, mindset, lifestyle, and eating wise, to run in the background automatically, just like your toothbrushing habit. That runs automatically pretty much, right? You're a little aware of it. You're a little kind of monitoring it, but mostly it's just an automated behavior that you've programmed in. So on Program Yourself Thin, we program all these things in so it's not a continuous struggle. Because for every dieter on the planet, maintenance is a continuous struggle that 95 to 98% ultimately fail with. Because 95 to 98% of dieters put the weight back on. So yeah, you've never learned how to maintain in a comfortable, semi-automatic way. So yeah, for most dieters, maintenance is really, really difficult and a continuous struggle. So again, listen to what we're talking about here, and you can get better at it. Julie says, freeze dry a broiled fish, salad, mixed veggies, and 3 giant coconut chocolate eggs. I still feel gross. Yeah, right? There you go. Again, that's the utilization. When we eat like shit, utilize it. Don't beat yourself up. Recognize how shitty it feels. So next time you want to eat like shit, you remember, I don't really like that. All right. Um, L says, how do you get back to maintenance when you hit your goal weight? That's a great question. I mean, in my world, it's pretty obvious. We start with maintenance. So the whole time we're focused on living at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. Day one, that's the goal. And that's what we're working on right from the beginning. Dieters are trying to drastically cut their calories and lose weight as fast as they possibly can. And then once they get to their goal weight, now they want to go back to maintenance. What does that mean? What does back to maintenance mean? I literally don't know what that means. Do you want to maintain? Because what most dieters do is they lose a bunch of weight and then they go back to maintenance, but that means that they go back to their overweight level. I know that's not what you mean. I know you don't want to go back to maintenance. I know you don't want to put the weight back on once you hit your goal weight. I know that's not what you're asking. So I have to assume that you mean, how do I get back to the maintenance at my lower weight? How do I hit my goal weight and then stay maintained? I don't even know what that means. Because what most dieters think is they're going to drastically cut the calories down and then they're going to bring it up to some magical maintenance level, which doesn't even exist. That's why 95 to 98% of dieters put the weight back on, because there is no maintenance level. You know, there is no maintenance level. You never learned how to maintain at your lower goal weight. So what maintenance level are you referring to would be my question to you. Oh, here we go. So I've lost 26 kilograms and I need to lose 5 kilograms more to be at my goal weight. Once I hit my goal, how do I go back to maintenance? Yeah, again, you're not going back to maintenance. There's no going back. There's staying at your goal weight. This is the big trick that dieting puts in your head. Yeah, some people say increase calories weekly and some people say just jump back. Currently I eat at 1,700, sometimes 2,000 calories. Just jump back. What the fuck does that mean? No offense, L. I'm not talking to you, but this concept of like you drastically cut your calories and then you jump them back up. I love that one because that's the idea that you're going to, I'm picking numbers here. Okay. You usually consume 2,500 calories and you're going to drop down to 1,500 calories till you reach your goal weight. Then you're going to go right down back to 2,500 calories and stay at your goal weight. Why? Because your body's just adjusted to it. What the fuck does that mean? Then why did you put the weight on in the first place? What the fuck? I've had this argument with dietitians, nutritionists. I don't even understand what that means. Listen, your weight, when you were 26 kilograms higher, your calorie consumption was up here. Now you've reduced your calorie consumption. Again, here's what dieting is, right? You're at your average calorie consumption and your average weight. And then dieting says drastically cut the calories down to here so you can get your goal weight down to here and then bring your calories back up to some maintenance level up here. Well, then your weight's going to go back up here. So in Program Yourself, then we're looking to slowly dial the calories down till you get to your goal weight. And then you just carry this out forever. So again, this idea of maintenance, I don't even understand it within a dieting concept. And Program Yourself, then I don't know if you want to start losing weight, you have no idea about maintenance. So we start on day one with a focus on maintenance. Because your goal is not to lose weight. Your goal is to live at your goal weight. That's the difference between weight loss and weight mastery. And no one's talking about it. It drives me fucking insane. I don't even know. You tell me even a name of someone out there who is teaching you about weight mastery, who's teaching you about how to live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. So right from the beginning, the goal is to figure out how to think, live, and eat like a thin, healthy person who can live at your goal weight for the rest of your life on your autopilot. We're figuring it out. You don't know. You don't know you've lost 26 kilograms, but you don't know how to think like a thin, healthy person. You don't know how to live like a thin, healthy person. You don't know how to eat like a thin, healthy person. You know how to like eat like a dieter. And you lose weight and then you get to your goal weight and you say, well, how do I live it this way forever? I don't know, because you know how to be overweight and you know how to be a dieter. You have no idea how to be a thin, healthy person. So I get why you're asking, L. And I'm glad you're focused on this because you're going to find out you have literally no clue how to maintain it. You have not learned a lick of how to maintain anything, folks. You dieters have learned how to lose weight. You have not learned how to maintain your goal weight at all. At all. It's the giant missing piece of the equation. This is why I say I don't give a fuck about your weight loss. I couldn't care less about your weight loss. I don't care how fast you can lose weight. I care how long you can live at your goal weight. So Elle says, so how do I do it? Well, I mean, it's like asking me, like, how do I be a carpenter? I mean, you go become a carpenter apprentice. I mean, at the very least, go to my bio, go to programyourselfin.com, get the free hypnosis session, watch the video training I made for you, read the emails I send you. Those are all free. But I can't sit here and just, you know what I mean? Like, how do I be a carpenter? How do I become an accountant? Okay, you ready? First, there's, you know, I mean, I can't explain every little thing here. I mean, the program, it's an 8-week program that I teach, you know what I mean? So it's like, there's a lot of information. My goal here on the podcast is just to point out, I mean, I'll answer shit too. I'm not trying to withhold anything, but it's a conceptual concept, you know, as well, that you would have to invest some energy and time into learning. And a free podcast is not really the place for that. You know, it's just my place here to just let you know that y'all got no maintenance plan at all. You all have no maintenance plan unless you have lived at your goal weight for like a year, 2 years minimum. You literally have no clue what you're going to do when you get to your goal weight. And I know you all think you're going to figure it out, which is the craziest part. Like, you've never figured it out, not even gotten close. You don't even know anyone who's figured it out, probably. It's that rare. And yet, people still think they're going to. So anyways, what's up, X? X says, hello, I find that I enjoy carbs in the evening, so I eat more veggies and protein all day and have carbs in the evening with veggies too. Well, great. That's a way to strategy. I'm trying to find out what I can do long-term and enjoy not fast diets. Yeah, great, X. Yeah, it's a process, you know? Again, I know I don't blame anyone. I mean, like, you've just been conditioned to think like a dieter your whole life. So it's not your fault that you're just so impatient and just do, you know, shit that's not built for the long term. You've been trained to do that. But you know, the more you calm down and approach this process as one of creating a thin, healthy mindset, lifestyle, and eating patterns that run on your autopilot, that's the goal. And when you make that the goal and you learn the strategies that help you do that, the whole process changes. It's completely it's the opposite of dieting. But great job, X. Those are smart questions. What's up, Jen? Jen says, I go through phases of feeling incredibly triggered around food. Like if I tried to track right now, I'd panic. I'm not even that hungry, but I have a weird urge to eat or strong sugar cravings. The urge to eat is way harder to resist than actual hunger. Oh, Jen, I agree 1,000%. And I didn't. Yeah, Jen, I get that. And that's normal though. Okay. That's completely normal. I call them the hungries. I get the hungries sometimes, and I'll give you some triggers of hungries. The number one trigger I'm weaning myself off it now is sugar. I've been eating more sugar and desserts recently, last couple months, slowly just ramping them up. And so what do you know? The more sugar I eat, the more I want to eat sugar, you know? And it goes that way with carbs and hyper addictive foods. And then there's always just certain foods that affect us. So I get it, Jen. You're not alone. It's not unusual. It's completely normal. You become aware of it. You recognize it. You relax and you start to strategize against it. So for me, again, I'm weaning down the sugar. I'm weaning down the higher calorie foods, you know, that I was eating. I'm weaning them down. And I'm recognizing this process. I'm not instantly chopping them all out. That feels overwhelming. Back to your point, right? That panic mode, you want to respect that. Don't panic. You don't have to track calories right now, but start to bring your awareness into it. So tracking calories it's a spectrum, right? You could start to track every single calorie of what you eat, or you could just start to pay attention to your eating patterns. That's a little easier, and you may not panic as much. So maybe start there, you know, but again, what you're saying is completely natural. All right. Elle says, but I must say my mind has changed a lot because my aim is to live healthy too. And I'd rather eat nutritional foods because it makes me feel good. I'll have a look. Yeah. Take a look at that stuff, Elle. Yeah, I get it. And so great job, Elle. So your motivation is different than it was before. I suggest this to all of you. The more you can make your motivation less about how you look and more about other things, the easier time you'll have because you will genuinely be more motivated. So that's a great strategy. Yeah, Kelly, we're all looking for the one thing that will fix this. Absolutely. That's the diet marketing is built around the concept of the one thing. That's why every diet is built around one thing. Don't eat carbs. Don't eat for 16 hours. Track every calorie. Don't eat, whatever. Don't eat fat. Again, there's always one thing you're tracking. Your weight mastery is never going to come down to just one thing. You need a holistic, comprehensive approach to master your weight. And I don't see it out there. I just don't see it. I see it in Program Yourself Thin. That's why I had to make it. X says, thank you so much, Jim. You really teach me a lot. Well, you're welcome, X. Great job. You're using it. So I respect that. Maria says the coffee isn't that bad though. And I only snack on fruit, so it doesn't matter. And for dinner, yes, I switch it up sometimes, but always veggies. Yeah, great, Maria. How long have you been doing this? That's my next big question to you. I know you want to lose 30 pounds here. Everything sounds great. I mean, your coffee's not that bad. You only snack on fruit. You only eat vegetables and meat for dinner. You don't eat chocolate anymore. So your eating sounds like perfectly clean. How long have you been eating perfectly clean for? That's my next question. So again, what I get to Maria is that I know there's a reason why you're 30 pounds heavier. And it's the same for all of us. There's always a reason why we weigh what we weigh. And that way of thinking is good. It's not a blame. It's a living in reality mode. Rachel says the other day you said choose a goal weight that's different than the number you always chose. Yes. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't literally, if it's 1 pound different, great. Because most of you have been walking around with the exact same goal weight for fucking 30 years. And what do you think happens when you say, I want to be X amount of pounds? And every time you've said that, you failed for 30 years. Well, eventually what happens is that number does not inspire you. You associate that number with failure. So even if you just change your number by 1 pound up or down, you're better off, I think. Okay. Now, that being said, I think that you should also, there's ways to choose a better goal weight too, but I'll take care of that. I'm working on the survey. I have the quiz set up. It wasn't working right, and I wasn't getting the technical support I needed until today. So I will go back and work on that. But I'm literally going to help you choose the right goal weight. So again, just another reason to go sign up for my hypnosis session. Get on my email list because I will send that to you. So Maria says it's been almost a month now and still nothing. Yeah. Okay. A month's not enough time. There's fast losers and slow losers, right? And I was just talking about this. This drives me insane because if you read it takes you 2 metabolic studies to read about to quickly realize that people lose weight in very different rates and speeds. And, they put these people in metabolic lab where they're tracking every calorie, same for everyone. And there's drastic differences in weight loss. So a month is not that long. I know you don't want to hear that, but it's just not. On top of that, I see you say I love dried mango. There's a red flag to me right away. Dried mango, dried fruit in general is an issue because you can overeat the shit out of it. I don't recommend dried fruit. So I promise you, Maria, I promise you your eating is not as clean as you think. I promise you're consuming more calories than you think. And a month really isn't even long enough to really know yet. Again, dieters want to think they know everything. That's the biggest lie of dieting is that you know what to do. You just got to get yourself to do it. Fucking bullshit. You have no idea. You have no idea the calories you're consuming. You have no idea of calorie density. You have no idea of alternative behaviors that are comfortable and enjoyable to you. You have no idea how to change your mindset. You have no idea to create a lifestyle that supports you. You have no idea to approach your eating in a strategic, structured way. You dieters have no fucking clue what you're doing to live at your goal weight. Like less than nothing because the dieting literally works against you. You would have been better off if you've never done a diet in your life and then found me. But you're worse off because you think like a dieter and you think you know everything. And you think the only thing that you need to do is to finally just start one day. Nope. You need to start one day so you can learn that you don't fucking know anything. You have no idea how to live at your goal weight. I don't know how much more clear I could put it. You have no idea how to do it. Let me put it a different way. It would be like if you never played piano before. You say, you know what? I really got to start playing piano. I got to start playing piano. But then when you started, you say, okay, that's it. I set up a lesson. But then it's like you expecting to go into the lesson knowing how to play piano. And you don't. The lesson is just to start learning it. And that's where all you dieters are at. You have no idea how to live at your goal weight. Like not a clue. Like you don't know anything about it. So if you've never played piano, you know nothing about playing the piano. And if you're a dieter, you know nothing about living at your goal weight. And I say that to you in the harshest way possible because No one's ever telling you this shit, and you start feeling it's learned helplessness. Oh my God. The diet industry is probably, I swear the diet industry in a weird way is worse than the cigarette industry. Maybe not because the cigarette industry kills more people literally, but the diet industry psychologically is the most manipulative, devious industry on the planet. I swear, because dieting is a psychological scam, and it's elegant in its completeness, and it's absolutely devious in how it trains you to fail. Literally trains you to fail. But yeah, you dieters, I can't tell you the number of times dieters, oh, I know what to do, Jim. I just need to get myself to do it. That's fucking bullshit. That would be like, it would be like you reading a book about playing the piano and then saying, okay, I know how to do it. Now just time to do it. Yeah, no, nope. You got to practice. You got to learn. You don't know shit. And it's the same thing with your weight. And so you're spinning your fucking wheels, dude. This is why men just never want help. And women, until they get to the age of, I'm picking 45, 50, are just so obsessed with dieting and so locked in that they can't realize it's not working. That's why the vast majority of my clients are women between the ages of 45 and 70. Yeah, just Jade, exactly. Dried fruit is often very calorie dense, unfortunately. Yes, it's very calorie dense and very sugar dense. So again, I'm sure you love dried mango, but Maria, I can almost guarantee you that's an example of the licensing effect I was talking about, where it's a fruit and you like it, and so you're eating a lot of it. And that's probably just one out of many sources of calories are coming in. But again, Maria, what I'm saying, and please understand, this is coming from love. It comes with all of you, because I hear this literally every day. Jim, I cut the calories down. I'm not losing weight. Yeah, because you don't even know where the fucking calories are. I mean, I'm not blaming you. Why would you be any different than me? I've been at this for 30 years personally. And the whole process is me learning, like, oh, I thought this and I was wrong. It's like hundreds of times. Oh, I thought that was good. Oh, it's not. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought that was healthy for me. Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought there was no calories in that. Oh, okay. I got it. And it's like, I've had to go through it for 30 years. So why would you be any different? Why do you just know everything? Like, it's so weird. It's the fucking weirdest. But this is what diets train you to do. So anyways. So again, Maria, I hope you embrace this. See, like, that was, oh my God, no dried fruit's no good. Oh my God, now this is no good. Yeah, this is what I mean. You're confused because you've been literally conditioned to be confused. The diet industry wants you to be overweight. I can't put it any clearer than that. The diet industry does not want you to lose weight and then live at that weight forever, being a healthy, happy, thin person. It's the last thing in the world they want. And they're doing a good job, because at this point, 75% of the American adult population is overweight or obese. So how's that possible? So Ann says, junk food industry has imitated the cigarette industry, proven in court. Yes, absolutely. It's true. Yes. Beyond that, I mean, just so you all know, the junk food industry is the cigarette industry. Just so you know, it's fascinating history. And in the late 70s, the cigarette companies saw the writing on the wall of the cigarettes, all the education and the anti-cigarette bias, because they're kill you. And so they knew that was coming out. So they divested from cigarettes, went into the food industry. And I don't think it's any mistake and any coincidence that right from literally the late 70s, early 80s, you can watch the explosion. It's a fucking explosion of obesity and type 2 diabetes. And on top of that, like, Jimmy, fucking weirdo. No. How about this? Nabisco and RJR Reynolds are literally merged together. They're the same company. The parent company of Kraft and General Foods is Philip Morris. So the cigarette companies divested from cigarettes, went into the junk food industry, and brought the exact same philosophy to make the most addictive product possible, use the most aggressive marketing they possibly could, and to sit on the science of how damaging it all was. Because at this moment in time, weight-related issues are the number one cause of preventable death. So there's that. What's up, Deanna? Deanna says, I've been sliding back and I'm fighting the no matter what I do, I can't lose weight, and recognize that I've been slowly allowing snacks back in. Dried fruits and nuts, healthy, but too many calories. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Deanna, listen, but I'm glad you realize that. No matter what I do, I can't lose weight. That is it's not true. Like again, we got to be careful of that because it's a powerless thought. And the second you start thinking that, you're done. You're done. Because if you don't, I always say this, like, again, if I said, you know what? No, literally, I found a way you can fly. I found a way that humans can fly. You got to go in your backyard or get on a field somewhere you need at least 100 feet. And you just run as fast as you can. And you got to hold your arms in a specific way like this, and then flap them like this while you run. Right? Like how hard are you going to try? Not at all, because you don't believe it. And so the second you're like, doesn't matter what I do, I can't lose weight, you're done. Because you're not going to try anymore. You have a belief that it's not going to work no matter what you do. So you're not going to do very much. So we always have to fight against that because it's always bullshit. No matter what I do. Bullshit. I'm so glad you said that, Deanna, because it's there. I get it. I'm not sitting here saying I'm some alien who never thinks that. Of course I do. But I recognize it and I work against it. So I did the same thing with weight. Oh my God, I'm getting older. Oh, no matter what I do, my weight's going to go up. Oh yeah. Or it's you've been snacking more. You've been eating more dessert. You've been eating more sugar. They've had a little more wine, a little more beer. Right? Oh, maybe it's that, Jim. Could it be that? I joke with you all because I go through the same thing. Your brain, it could never be the cookies and the fucking alcohol and the other bullshit, Jim. No, it's that. No, you're getting a little older. My brain says that to me now. We can't accept that. You know what I mean? Because almost all the time it's just, we start eating more. And it happened without you realizing it. And so once you realize that, Deanna, though, you're back in control. Even if you're still snacking a little too much, there's phases to things. Recognizing, it's because I'm snacking more. I'm going to start dialing that down. You're still in a better spot. Even if you don't dial it down yet, you're still better off knowing it's because I've been snacking more. You're in the world of reality as opposed to, escaping into the world of fantasy where no matter what you do, you can't lose weight, which a lot of dieters unfortunately are in. Yeah. Yeah, Elle says, yeah, my mom's tried every diet under the sun. Yeah, most dieters have. Again, especially the people that listen to me, my clients, like I said, they're usually somewhere 45 to 70-year-old women. And then psychographically, they're almost always overthinkers, perfectionists, action takers. They study, they do things, they've done 1 million diets. It's not for a lack of trying. It's not for a lack of action that they're not getting results. It's that they've never learned the right ways to think about this. So thanks, Sherry. Sherry says, I love the podcast, Jim. It makes so much sense. And I love the passion. PYT and Thrive, Jim, is great too. Such a great teacher and coach. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. Sherry's killing it. Sherry's killing it in the program. Moon says, was really on track and doing well. Eastern emotions came with family, binge 2 days in a row. Trying to learn from it, but disappointed. Don't be disappointed. I mean, a couple days, binging for 2 days is going to have as much impact on your weight as eating great for 2 days. And the negativity bias makes us feel like the binge is going to be this catastrophic thing that's going to ruin us forever. But then if you have 2 days of good eating, then that same brain says, who gives a shit, big deal, right? We can't trust our brain. It's a bullshitter. And so I get what you're saying, Moon, but yeah, it's no big deal. A lot of people, Easter comes, the Easter food, the Easter traditions, the family stresses or anxieties or whatever. And so again, it is what it is. Let's just work to get ourselves back on track. I wouldn't be disappointed. Anytime I got holiday or vacation mode, I'm going to kind of overdo it a little bit. I'm fine with that. It's not about being perfect all the time. It's about, getting off track and then being able to get back on track quickly. And I will let you know the disappointment is going to make it harder to get back on track. It doesn't help if you don't know that. I never know if people know that or not. Because I think sometimes people try and use the negative emotions as a tool. Get them on there. Kent, what's up, Kent? After 6 months of PYT, I'm getting more pleasure from the way I see myself than from the foods I used to eat. Hey, nice job, Kent. Ken, you're really going to love the new program because I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm not going to talk about it long. Shit. I forgot to start the audio. Yeah, but I'm so excited and that's a great job, Ken. Yeah. So again, in the new version of the program, that means that's because you're stacking up your happiness because you've been focusing on happiness. It's now getting to this level where it gets higher than the pleasure can even get to. So great job. What's up, Vicky? Oh, it's Earth Day. Nice. Happy Earth Day. Always nice to celebrate the earth. Let's see. Moon said you skipped me, but then I got you. Because says I love the way you tie obesity and the culprits to the scene of the crime. Yeah, exactly. Susie laughs, says you're so dang funny and practical. Well, thank you. I do try to be practical. I will say that I think that's something that makes what I'm saying unique in the weight loss world is that I'm grounded in practicality. And I think the weight loss industry 100% practically is grounded in bullshit. Bullshit. Every fucking weight loss plan is built around you being this perfect person, right? And that's why it's the all or nothing trap, because it's built around this idea that you're going to do everything absolutely perfect. And it's bullshit. You're not going to be perfect. Most of the time, you're not going to be perfect. So again, and program yourself thin. Dieting is all or nothing. Program yourself thin's all or something. And most of the gains you're going to get are not by being all. They're from going from nothing to something. And when you're consistently something, you keep improving. And before you know it, your something's up here. That's the secret to success. And that's because it's very practical, because it's built around the idea that you're not going to be perfect. Yeah. And grounded in reality. Well, thank you. Kelly says, why is it so hard to be aware of what we are eating? I might go back to writing down everything I eat for a while. It's hard to be aware of what we're eating because we have evolved in an environment where we never had to be aware of what we were eating. We never, ever had to worry about eating too much. And millions of years we've been on the planet evolving, we never had to worry about eating too much until the last 50 years. So we don't have that part of our brain. And so we are now surrounded by hyper addictive, hyper palatable, high calorie foods that are so easy to overeat. And we have a brain and a body that want us to eat everything in sight because we evolved in a food scarce environment. So that's what all of our body systems tell us to do. Just keep eating, keep eating, keep eating. So yes, it is hard. We live in an alien world now. And what we need to do is upgrade our mind with new programming to thrive in this world. That's how I think of it. Deanna says, for some reason, I let myself order the stupid Starbucks lavender latte and convince myself it's not that bad like 4 times. Yeah, Deanna, listen, I'm right there with you. Like, I don't want to, I'm right there. I've been getting croissants a little bit more, muffins a little bit more, just bullshit sneaking in. And yeah, just the convincing is the hilarious part. So again, Deanna, that's completely, totally normal. It's not a big deal. And it's always going to happen, but it doesn't have to ruin you. You know, it's not going to ruin me. So I put a couple pounds on. I don't give a shit. I realize it. I'm just redialing things back in. I've had to do this a number of times. It's not a big deal. Again, dieting, the fucking dieting, it's like this idea that you're going to get to your goal weight. And it's like this fairy tale land where you never have to think about your eating and weight again. Talk about not practical. It's just, God, it makes me crazy. You have to think of your eating. It's kind of like brushing your teeth in the sense that it's a forever habit, something you just get better. I mean, you know, brushing your teeth, you kind of did it and then it's done and done. But eating's harder than that. But it's like in that ballpark where you're constantly being pulled to overeat. We don't live in a vacuum. Again, your brain would work fine if I dropped you off in the woods. Now your brain works great for the eating. You just want to eat everything in sight and as soon as you can. Well, great. But you're not living in the woods. You're not living in a natural environment. You're living in a completely unnatural environment where you're surrounded by foods that are literally engineered to get you to overeat them. So that's a big part of the whole thing. Vicky says, I encourage people at work with all or something thinking, and it seems to resonate positively. Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, again, the all or something thinking, to really get it, you know, I mean, you have to understand it within the paradigm of program yourself then, I think. But yeah, just as a general quick alternative to all or nothing, hopefully it's thought of more fondly. I mean, how could it not be? The all or nothing thinking is just brutal. It is brutal. Like, I don't know how anyone would succeed with that all or nothing thinking. And yet people are so addicted to it. I do know how they think it, but whatever. Deanna says, I'm grateful for you and helping me not to be in denial, but just get right back on track. Yeah, exactly, Deanna. That's exactly right. Yeah, not be in denial. Now, again, dieters are in denial, back to the all or nothing thing. Dieters get into denial because as soon as they get off track, they feel like they got to jump all the way back up to being all perfect. And for most dieters, Listen, dieters, this is why you're not fucking dieting right now. So there you go. You know why you keep getting ready? Didn't start this week. Easter just happened. I was going to start Monday. Next Monday, next Monday, next Monday, next Monday. Yeah, it's not going to happen. And then, why is that? It's because you don't want to do it. It's miserable. So you go into denial a lot of times because you hate your strategies for losing weight. You feel deprived, you feel frustrated, you feel stressed, you feel anxious, you hate it. So you avoid it. So program yourself in, we find a way to master your weight that's just a lot more comfortable. So when you get off track, you can realize it and then slowly get yourself back on track. I'm a master of this shit. And I got off track a little bit. I'm slowly getting myself back on track. I'm not changing everything all at once. I'm slowly getting myself back to where I was, dialing it down. So anyways. Yeah, because I found all or something resonates in many realms outside of PYT. Yeah, I agree. I use all or something in every area of my life. And it is a foundational core mindset piece of kicking ass in a lot of areas of my life, to be honest, because I'm not a person who can just like do something and then I'm just great at it and wow, amazing. I'm usually someone who starts doing something and I kind of get distracted or I'm not that good and I'm frustrated, but I just keep going. I'm very resilient. I build all this around resilience. So the something thing is just like, it's very freeing because it's like, oh yeah, sometimes I don't want to eat perfectly. Do, do you know what that feels like, folks? You ever feel like you want to lose weight, but you don't want to start your diet? You don't want to eat perfectly? Ever had that? So what do? You just put it all off. But what if you just start doing something right though? So it's just like once you, yeah. And I think, Vicky says, I agree dialing down. I do that often and tell myself I'm never going back. Yeah, I tell myself I'm never going back either, but I know that I am sometimes, you know what I mean? But never as much though, I will say, I always catch it way ahead of time. But the dialing down is a crucial concept. So, all right, everyone, when we get out of here, if you're not in my world, make sure that you go click the link in my bio or go to Program Yourself thing, go get the free hypnosis session, watch the video, read the emails. I do have the goal weight quiz in training ready to go. I gotta tweak there's a technical issue that needs to be fixed because I want it to work right for you all. And so that's being fixed, but you'll get that if you're on my email list. I'm here every Monday through Friday at noon. So pop on here if you have any questions, want to talk about your weight, eating, any of this stuff. I'm happy to help you out. And this is also a podcast. So if you miss it, want to listen to it, it's Program Yourself. Then it's on all the podcast platforms and you can go check it out. So, all right, everyone. Thank you very much for being here. Great questions, great comments. I appreciate them all. Have a super day and we'll talk soon. Bye.